It was about 20 years ago that I started to look at blood. I visited a physicist outside of Montreal, Gaston Nassans, who had a microscope that magnified up to 60,000 times. And once I looked into his microscope and saw things moving around, my life changed. No one had ever shown me live blood before. I had two different German teachers work with me side by side to show me different things. In the United States, there are 96 medical schools in the United States. They stain the blood. The stain fixes it for mortality. You never see the blood, and it kills it, it's a poison. You never see the blood live, you never see how it deteriorates. And if it's not stainable, it's invisible or an artifact. There are things in the human blood that have absolutely no name for it in American literature. Plus, there are a lot of things in the blood they've called artifacts. There's a concept they see in the blood that Germans have seen now for a century of debris in the blood they call symplasms. And the first teacher I saw in the United States came over from Sweden in the early 1990s, and he started talking about these artifacts in the blood. And I turned around to a friend next to me and I said, you know, I've been studying those artifacts for 5 years. I want to show you some pictures that I've seen in the blood to show you.
Yeah, I want to know what an artifact in the blood is and what this means.
There's a lot of debris in the blood, okay? And they say it's on the slide and they push it off, and people are looking at they're looking at the leaves and they're missing the forest when they look at the blood. There are pieces of debris, and I'll give you an example. This was a piece of debris. Here's a red blood cell, if you can see that one. Mm-hmm. I take capillary blood out of a finger. Only one red cell can come through a capillary time. And yet you got pictures like this in the blood. This was someone, and to show people that these are not crazy, not a lot of these things that really look weird, a lot of them are very accurate. This is a tooth implant on someone that had to come out. There was a problem. This is a picture of it in the blood.
Interesting. Now,
okay, look at the accuracy. There's the bud on that. Look at the bud on that. There are the threads on that.
Yeah.
How did that get in the blood?
Threads, a tooth on the top.
Okay.
How did that get in the blood?
Well, it's taken me about 10 years to try to figure that one out, and another 10 years to try to explain it in my newest book. Okay, it's not an easy concept.
What is it?
Well, let's go further on that one. That's one picture. Let's show you another picture. This is a picture. This gal came to me. She was 10 weeks pregnant. In the blood, there is a picture of the fetus. That is the umbilical cord. That's the placenta. And that's in the uterus.
And that's showing up?
And a drop of blood. Let's go further, okay? Let's do it over here. Let's go here. In the same drop of blood. There's the placenta. There's the cord. That's the baby in the uterus. Okay?
And that's in that.
One drop of blood. This is actually another shot. This is from the placenta, and there's the same shape coming off of there.
The same shape and multiple drops of blood?
Right, and one drop. This was all in one drop. Uterus is a pear-shaped organ.
Yes.
There is the fetus, there is the placenta in the uterus, in the blood.
Now, you wrote a book called Holographic Blood. What are we looking at here?
Well, this is, first of all, the book is title be changed to Blood Mysteries.
Right, the old title.
Edgar Cayce, America's most prolific psychic, stated, "The physician of the future from one drop of blood will diagnose the condition of the entire physical body." There is a hologram in the pupil of the eye and the iris. There's one in the ear. There's one in the tongue. There's one in the palm. There's one in the foot. The Chinese have known this for centuries. Well, there's one in the blood, too. Of course there's one in the blood. The blood is very dynamic. It's not only in the blood, but you can visualize it, all of these things that are there.
So what is the emanation that's showing itself as this image? What is it? Is it energetic? Is it holographic?
Nordenström in Sweden, basically, Nordenström in Sweden, about a couple decades ago, actually picked up the electrical body of man. Each cell is differently charged. The blood is like an electrical cable. The different cells will run in different layers. In nature, energy sets the pattern for physical. Electricity sets the pattern for the physical. If I have a magnet and put iron filings on it, it will set a pattern. If I put stones on it, nothing will happen. Well, the liver's got an electrical pattern. Every organ's got an electrical pattern. And in acupuncture philosophy, every organ's got an emotion. If you're angry, it's the liver. So if you're an angry person, the electrical pattern of the liver will be in the cable, and as it precipitates out, it will form a shape of a liver. That is about the best. These things, there are pictures of things that are impossible to be in the blood, but yet I'll show you the pictures of them. How did they get there? I don't believe they're there as much as they precipitate out when it comes on the slide.
More energetically.
Yes, it's the energy
Like an
is there.
electrical emanation
Right.
almost.
That's exactly right.
Would you show us some more? This is fascinating.
Okay. This was my secretary when she was 6 weeks pregnant. This is the sonogram. That is the fetus in the blood matching the sonogram.
That's pretty obvious.
Okay. This is her 3 months pregnant. There's the head, the neck, there's the arms, it's the low back, that's the butt, and there are the legs. This is 6 months pregnant. You actually got eyes in there, and there's a nose in there, and it's a boy. There's a penis
Wow.
in there. Let's go back on a couple things. That was her having a period. Right
Wow.
in the blood.
Wow.
This one is very interesting. See this picture? This is a worm. This is a picture of a tapeworm. Tapeworms are normally 100 to 200 centimeters in size. How did this get in the blood? In fact, here's a picture of the tapeworm. Look at the segments. In the blood. In the blood.
Wow.
Okay. Here's another. This is a roundworm. And I'll show you a picture of that anytime. How does a roundworm get in the blood? Look at the size of that.
Yeah.
And if I showed you the exact pictures, it looks exactly like a worm. It couldn't physically be there,
No.
but it's meaning something. It's meaning something.
Now, even really more outrageous than this is that you have seen things in the blood or in imagery before they've occurred.
Well, the most amazing picture, that's the one you're referring to. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can go way back on that one.
That's pretty
Let's see if I can
shocking.
get back on that.
So this is the picture we were mentioning. Can you explain what's going on?
This is the single most exciting picture I've ever taken. Okay, this is a picture of the leg bone called the femur. Okay, this is a picture of it in Gray's Anatomy. Okay, you can see the similarity, the accuracy of this is too
Identical.
non-accurate. Plus, this has got a crack in it. See it broken?
Mm-hmm.
This came from a patient of mine who sent me a slide in the mail, which I can do that. They sent FedEx it to me. And I looked at the slide and I called her up and I said, Marlene, did you ever break your leg or your arm or anything like that? No. About a month later, her son calls up. My mom just fell in the ice. Guess what just happened?
Huh.
That picture was taken 1 month before the injury.
Now, the implications here are huge. Can you talk about this?
The
As best you can. I mean, this is where I like the new title, Blood Mysteries, Myth, Magic, or Reality. What the heck is this about?
This is the most exciting picture I've ever taken because it tells you that thought is everything. Thought is real.
Might she have been afraid of falling on the ice or something?
What she wanted, no, it wasn't. She was close to 80 years old, okay, and we talked about different things. I've used animal tissues. We actually talked about stem cells for her. She didn't want that because she was happy that everyone was taking care of her. Okay? Plain and simple, that if she was on her own and she was strong, all the people wouldn't be taking care of her. She would have sons come over, people come over, everyone to help her.
Well, broken leg will do it.
Right. She didn't want to go the way of getting stem cells and getting regenerated because she was happy with everyone taking care of her. So the thought was, no, I'm not going that way. This is fine. And then she breaks the leg.
Right.
Aunt Mary has got cancer. Why? Because everyone visits Aunt Mary. Otherwise, no one paid attention to Aunt Mary. My first cancer case, I got into remission. She was 10 years on and off with the disease. We called her up and said, everything's clean. And she came in and she looked at me and says, Dr. Biggleson, now what do I do? The whole life was cancer. So this was interesting. Why this happened? That was my thought of why this happened to this gal is basically, no, she didn't want to.
A belief system that to be infirmed means you're connected with others and they care for you.
Whatever it is, yes. There's a secondary gain to most illness.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that pretty much explains it right there.
That was the one, and the picture is so accurate. You can't, how did that get there? And again, only one red cell come to a capillary at a time. That's the size of a red cell. How did that get in there? And the beauty and the perfection of that picture.
That is an amazing slide.